Today, we're diving into the visual language of Heartstopper. We're going to look at how the art itself, everything from how the characters are drawn to the layout of the page, tells a story that's so much deeper than just the words. I mean, think about it. How do you actually draw the feeling of a crush or anxiety? The real magic of Heartstopper is in all the stuff that isn't said out loud. And today, we're going to learn how to read that hidden language. So, here's our game plan. We'll start with the hidden language and some key terms for our visual grammar toolbox. Then we'll see how the characters are drawn, break down some huge scenes, and finally, talk about why all of this matters so much. All right, let's jump right in. We're about to explore that secret language that artists use to make us feel things, sometimes way more powerfully than words ever could. You know, just like any language, visual storytelling has its own grammar. We're about to add 4 essential terms to your toolbox that'll help you see what's really going on between the panels. So the most basic building block is, of course, the panel. It's just a single frame, one moment in time. But honestly, the real storytelling, the magic, it happens in the space between them. And that space is called the gutter. It looks like nothing, just white space. But it's where the whole story comes alive. It's basically an invitation from the artist for your brain to get involved and do some of the work. Okay, this is a fun one, Emanata. These are all the little visual shortcuts that show us what a character is feeling inside. In Heartstopper, you see it all the time with those anxious scribbles around Charlie's head, or, of course, the iconic leaves that pop up when things start getting romantic. And that brings us to closure. Closure is the work your brain does in the gutter. It's that mental leap you take to connect the dots between 2 separate images, turning them into one smooth story. It's what makes you a co-creator here. This is a perfect, simple example. Panel 1, a hand reaches. Panel 2, 2 hands are holding. Your brain automatically filled in the action that happened in that little white space. That's closure. You just participated in telling the story. Okay, so now that we've got our visual literacy toolkit, let's take a look at how the art itself builds the personalities of Charlie and Nick, long before they even say a word to each other. The way they're drawn is so different, and it's completely on purpose. Charlie's drawn with these thin, kind of wispy lines. He's often hunched over, trying to make himself small, and you'll see him in these big, empty panels that just scream loneliness. But then you have Nick. He's drawn with broader, more grounded lines. He feels solid. His design has softer, rounder edges, which makes him feel safe and approachable. It's all right there in the art. All right, now for the really fun part. We're going to put our new skills to the test and break down 4 of the most important scenes in the story to see how they pack such a huge emotional punch. And where else could we start but the very beginning? The moment that kicks everything off. That first simple hi. So much is going on here visually. First, notice the subjective focus. The background just completely disappears. For Charlie, in that moment, the rest of the world has melted away. There's only Nick. And repeating the hi in separate panels, it perfectly captures that awkward, heart-thumping tension of meeting someone new. Next up, we've got the snow day. This is a huge turning point where you can really feel their friendship starting to tip over into something more. And boom, we get a splash page. It's a full-page drawing that completely breaks the normal grid. The artist is showing us that this feeling of joy is just too big to be contained in a little box. And the snow itself, well, it's a symbol, right? It's a fresh start, a clean slate for whatever their relationship is about to become. Oh man, okay. Now let's get into this scene, the almost kiss. The air is just crackling with tension here, and time basically stands still. The artist uses this technique here called decompression. They take what is probably a 2-second moment in real life and stretch it out over a whole bunch of panels. We see close-ups of their hands, their faces, their eyes. It forces us, the reader, to slow way down and just live in that suspense. You can practically feel the electricity. And finally, we get to the moment the entire first volume has been building towards. The emotional climax, where all that tension finally gets released. To show how huge this moment is, the artist literally breaks the rules of the page. The art bleeds all the way to the edge. There's no gutter to hold it in. It's a visual cue that this feeling is too powerful to be contained. And the Heartstopper leaves are just exploding everywhere. It's this beautiful visual crescendo that shows us we've hit the absolute emotional peak. So we've looked at the tools and the scenes. But why does any of this matter? Let's zoom out and look at the big picture and how this visual language shapes the story's main ideas. Well, these artistic choices are everything. They're how we understand the story's themes. Nick's struggle with his identity is shown in those quiet, lonely panels where he's just staring at his phone. Toxic masculinity gets a look, too. The bullies have these sharp, jagged speech bubbles. And the friend group, they're often drawn huddled together in these overlapping circular panels, like a visual shield protecting each other. And that really gets to the heart of Nick's character. In a world full of stories about epic battles, his heroism is quieter. His big, heroic leap of faith isn't fighting some bad guy. It's the intensely personal bravery of being honest with himself, a journey that climaxes with that first kiss. So, I'll leave you with this thought. The artist gives you the panels, the building blocks, but who really creates the story? It's you, the reader. Every time your brain fills in the gaps, you're the one making the story move. You're the true narrator of their journey,